Internet.
Hello,
No.
Internet. It is I, me, and welcome. It's Wednesday Night Dice. It's a very special Wednesday Night Dice. It's our. Shit, what's the word I keep using? Affiliaversary.
Mm-hmm.
It's our affiliaversary this week. Or recently. But we're celebrating today. Um, as always, a couple of shout outs to all of the fantastic tools that we use on the channel, like Incarnate, Dungeon Alchemist, Foundry, VTT, Hero Forge, um, making digital gaming possible for us and a lot of others with making maps and broadcasting maps and making tokens and miniatures and all of that sort of good thing. Um, Fantasy name generators, Monument Studios, um, Pocket Bard for all of our names of people and music and general ambiance. Um, if you're not using those in your home game, they do not pay us to say this, but you should go check them out because I love all of it to death. Um, Last but not least, the main reason that we do this, raising money and raising awareness for the Extra Life Foundation. Um, you know, benefiting Children's Miracle Network hospitals, in particular on this channel, the Ann and Robert H. Lurie Children's Hospital in Chicago. Um, it's a great group of people that head that up, and we are always happy to support them. If you would like to support us in supporting them, we have donation links in the chat and description, or both, or one or the other.
Cool.
Both. I'm told both.
Oh,
Um, so you can go over there. There are some incentives to making donations. First and foremost, you can donate $5 at any time during one of our broadcasts to give one of our players advantage on their next die roll. You can donate $15 and get a deal going. $15 gets advantage to all of the players on their next die roll.
We
Um,
love a BOGO.
yeah.
it's not a
It's not a
BOGO. I have been told it's not a BOGO.
Sorry, I work too much.
Don't call it a BOGO. Um, but yeah, and there's a if you go onto our Extra Life team page and find my name, there's a couple of other interesting donation perks that you might be able to take advantage of to either reward or punish our players, whatever you see fit. Um, but yes, and without further ado, we begin. Our adventure begins in the city of Shimmergulf. The city of Shimmergulf is situated on the banks of the Shimmering Bay. The grace and grandeur of this walled city is matched only by the rolling hills and majestic sea that it lies nestled between. The skyline is dominated by unique skyscrapers, and they seem to be reaching higher and higher with every year. Health and services are faultless in Shimmergulf, and it has attracted a lot of attention in recent years. Various cultures have left their mark not just on the city's cuisine, but also on the city's very identity. What was once a small keep to a minor noble centuries ago has grown to be a large melting pot that unites its 4 million subjects to this day. It is a multicultural identity that has truly left its mark. Hundreds of inns, shops, and various arenas offer a plethora of choices for those who feel hungry for something exciting, such as water sports, city exploring, clubs, or anything else a discerning traveler may wish to enjoy. And just to get the resin rolling a little bit, Sam, who might be living out their life or visiting this great city of Shimmergulf?
You want one of the NPCs?
Yes.
Um, there is a in slightly less affluent portion of town, but close to whatever is considered the theater district of Shimmergulf, as close as that can be, is a young changeling by the name of Muse, who has left their small village and the small family um, to expand their variety of faces and utilize their gift to tell stories and try and get their
Okay.
big break in a bigger city.
All right. Rhodes, who else might be enjoying their day or living out their life in this grand city of Shimmergulf?
Uh, in a, I can think of no better word than compound on the outskirts of the city. There is a very obnoxiously loud painted building with very tall fencing and walls around it. And inside that compound uh, is Daniil, who is a human, they, them pronouns, that lives in this compound. He's got, or sorry, they have like very round hazel eyes, a very like tall bodybuilder kind of physique, but often wears more effeminate clothing. And they act as essentially the uh, secretary, or kind of like like, you know, when you first enter the compound, uh they are often the first person that you will meet to help introduce you to what's happening in that little oasis in Shimmergulf.
Excellent. I love it. Uh, Court, who else might be living out their life on this early, warm summer morning?
So a little old woman named Biddy, her nickname, but that's what she goes by to everybody. She takes care of all of the neighborhood cats, feeds them, and several of them just live with her at this point. She is actually the next door neighbor to my character. Um, she's short, uh, small in stature, like a little bit hunched over because she looks very old, but has a hint of underlying power to those eyes. She really enjoys cooking and often supplies her uh, young soldier neighbor with leftover casseroles and meatballs that she makes, and is currently spending the day putting out the morning's offerings for all of her favorite kitties as they lounge about in the sun patch.
Okay. And Tina, who else might be living out their life?
Um, well, we have just outside of, is the city still walled?
Yes. This is a
Okay.
very multi-walled city. Um, the city is divided by 2 rings of walls, and then inside those rings there are other smaller walls that separate different districts.
Mm. And if there's is there what kind of government? Like, are there government buildings in some location?
There are government buildings in many locations. This city is ruled by the High King Arland,
Mm-hmm.
Benedict Tiberius.
Mm. Okay.
And High King Benedict has ruled this city for about 30 years. And his father before him and his father before that, reaching back to the inception of this city centuries ago.
Okay.
It has always been ruled by the Arland Kings.
Sorry, I know you're going to go. Quick question.
Sure.
Does this take place in the same universe as Skytown?
Yes.
I'm going to take notes. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, take notes.
Yes.
No, I'm not ready for notes. I have nothing.
All right then.
Well, we're recording, so
Yeah, it's true.
That's true.
you can check the video later. That's what
So-
I do.
So, you see in the sort of early morning light, soaring over the walls toward the central core of the city, a slightly disheveled male adolescent Aarakocra named Walk.
Okay.
And Walk kind of glides over, adjusts slightly because they lost the current. And then kind of skids down and really tries hard for a 3-point landing, but probably makes about a 2.7 as they skid, stumble forward, brush themselves off, and in the same way that maybe an adolescent human might have acne, an adolescent Aarakocra, the feathers they kind of are always just shedding. There's always ones just kind of sticking out and sticking up. So as he does this, they just kind of
yeah. I don't.
and
I
he's
don't remember
wearing
off the top of my
a
head what kind of feathers those are, but still molting his baby feathers.
it's still shedding. It's like trying to grow in the adult feathers, but not quite there. So you have that patchiness that maybe would
he's
be
all
a beard
downy?
on someone else, but it's not. It hasn't worked. But he's trying real hard. He's really trying.
Okay.
I mean, this is like the equivalent of a 15, 16-year-old kid. And, brushes himself off once he lands and is wearing the uniform of a courier.
Okay.
And starts kind of heading at a quick pace now into wherever the central government core is. He's got a bag full of letters, probably arriving to both deliver the mail and pick up anything that maybe needs to go off elsewhere.
Okay.
Think bicycle delivery guy. We have bike couriers where I live. They run messages between government buildings.
Shimmergulf
kid.
absolutely has winged couriers.
Yeah.
It's-
So this kid he's really trying to make himself look presentable, never quite achieving that, but it's his first job. And he's really trying to do good. He got to earn some money for the summer, maybe get a recommendation, get into college, then.
Excellent. Well, Shimmergulf is definitely home to one of the most prestigious bard colleges and wizarding academies in the entire kingdom. So if you are of that sort, wishing to prove yourself and gain entry to one of those schools, then yes, traveling to this city, finding work, proving yourself is definitely something that you and many others have done and will continue to do.
Oh yes. They can grow the feathers. It's not fair.
So, you, Tina, you find yourself, and I'm sorry, what is your Aarakocra's name?
Walk. WAWK.
I love it. Walk finds himself making deliveries in the docks.
Okay.
It is the district of Shimmergulf that is perhaps the largest just in terms of its footprint, and it essentially just aligns the entire coast. So you find yourself making deliveries to various inns, various shops. Because you are a winged courier, you don't make large deliveries. You make small, fast deliveries. So things like just messages or very small parcels, things of that nature.
Perhaps small trinkets.
And
Probably someone's underwear in an envelope that they maybe left at a certain place.
Hey, Donna.
So you find yourself making deliveries. I would like you to roll a d20 for me.
19.
19. You look out as you are flying, kind of taking a wide arc and flying slightly out over the water, and really taking in the cool, salty breeze of the area as it comes in off the water. You look down, and below you is a very calm, shimmering bay. The water is a deep blue, almost like sapphire. And on this particular day, the water is especially calm. Because you are in a large bay, it is uncommon for the seas to be really rough, especially at the shore. That is part of the reason the city exists here as opposed to somewhere else. That the topography of this bay kind of shields it somewhat from the open ocean. But you look down and quickly find the target of your next delivery, and you hold a large it is a large packet of papers destined for the Dapper Wood Elf Pub. I assume that you...
What do I roll to figure out if I know where this place is?
Oh,
this a place that that has a lot of course? Okay, so I would have known where it is.
You know where it is, and you do find it.
Okay. So after a few circles, I will kind of look for a reasonable space to land, probably in an alley or something next to the pub. Just because, landing in the middle of a street is really rude.
And the main street through here is very busy.
Yeah.
At this point, the sun is up. Everyone is going about their busy mornings. And the docks is one of the busier districts in town.
Yeah, so I'll come in probably in an alley or something behind or next to the pub. Apparently, landing on the roof is frowned upon, disturbs the guests, disturbs whatever. Land on the ground, and then I'll head around. Probably head around. Who am I looking for? Who's this envelope addressed to?
This envelope is addressed to Virgil.
Virgil. I will head around, probably around back. If there
Okay.
is a back door to this location where the employees may come in and out.
There is definitely a second, like, back entrance that leads essentially, like, through the kitchens.
Is this a person I would have delivered to before?
Yeah.
So I would know who they are in this place. Are they the owner? Are they barkeep? Are they cook?
You're not entirely sure if Virgil is the owner or not, but he is the person that most of the mail is addressed to.
Okay, and he's typically here.
And he is typically there.
Okay, then I will head in and kind of wave to familiar faces as I pass through the kitchens and kind of into that back space, looking for Virgil, knowing that I would prefer not to just leave this here.
Okay.
But if need be, I can pass it off to someone else. I can't be here for 20 minutes waiting for him, but first I'll take a look around and try to find this guy.
Okay. You enter through the kitchens. You see Tisha, the cook, is, slaving away, working on breakfast
Can I try
for
to
all
swipe
of
like
the guests.
like a bread?
Roll me a d20.
13.
Okay. You successfully on your way past, you just grab a biscuit or something. Something small like a biscuit or an apple.
Mm-hmm.
Something of that sort.
Sweet.
And on exiting the kitchen, you immediately see Virgil behind the bar. And on seeing you enter, he says, walk! What have you for me today?
You know I don't open the mail. Something heavy, though. Kind of thick. I'm gonna kind of proffer this packet of papers.
Okay. He looks at it for a moment before he, gives it, the hairy eyeball for a moment before taking it from you. And says, if it's paper that you weren't expecting, you know it's nothing good, he says with a grimace. And he just sets it behind the bar, to be thumbed through at a later date. He reaches into his pocket and hands you a single silver coin.
Thank you. Single silver coin. Note that down. I got 1 silver. It's real exciting.
Mm-hmm. Which a silver coin is a very good tip.
Yeah.
And he gives it to you, and
that's why I like delivering here.
And he says, you're always on time, and you never go through my shit, and I appreciate that.
Well, it is
one of the things I like most about you.
Well, I do try.
Now, I won't keep you. I'm sure you have other deliveries to make.
Yeah. Shake a full bag full of what the heck ever.
Mm-hmm. There are other just small envelopes, letters. You have one other larger package, but again, being a winged courier, you don't carry anything really big.
There's other things for that.
So, and Virgil just says, "Now get out of here."
Aye, I will see you probably very, very soon, as per usual. And he'll just kind of turn around, not quite gracefully, turn around, get the feet tangled a little bit, and then kind of just like stumble back through the door.
Okay. I would like all 4 of you to roll me a d20 at this point.
$17.
Yeah, that tracks.
16.
Also 16.
4.
Oh, Sam.
I need to switch out these dice. They were rolling garbage for me yesterday too.
Okay. And then real quick, just once again, Sam, Rhodes, and Court, what were your characters' names that you introduced already?
Biddy.
Sam
Muse.
and Rhodes.
Daniil. Daneil.
Okay. Sam, you were the only one not to roll above a 10,
Nope.
correct? Okay. All of you, actually, Sam, Muse, Daniil, and Biddy, you all notice this. Walk, you do not. You feel a slight tremor in the ground. Almost like a very mild earthquake. And Daniil, Walk, and Biddy, you begin to hear as you are going about your morning, doing deliveries or whatever else it is that you spend your time doing in the city, you begin to hear town criers, who often will stand on street corners and bring news of the kingdom or news of the city to its inhabitants. And the cries on all of their lips this morning are, a kingdom without a king. A kingdom without a king. The High King, Benedict Xavier Arlen, dies in his sleep in the night. The city has no king. And they're ringing their bells, getting people's attention, but that is the only bit of news that they are speaking to.
Was the king very old, or would it be a surprising death because he's on, like, I don't want to say young, but not at an age where you would expect that?
Roll me a d20.
14.
You know 2 things. You know that the Xavier Tiberius, the current or former High King, was king for 30 plus years, but he wasn't particularly old. So it's unlikely that this would have been a died peacefully in his sleep of old age type of death. More surprising than that, you also know that the king currently has no heirs. Um, Daniil, what are you doing with your day at this point?
Um, they started their day at the little call like reception desk that is by the front entrance. Um, and after, they don't necessarily always get somebody that wants to join every day. So quite often he's just like doing paperwork and is a little bit bored as the welcoming committee. But once they uh, hear the town crier, they're going to go, they're going to leave the compound and go out and basically just try to get information and see what's going on.
Okay. Um, roll for me a d20.
Cool. 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 That's a solid one.
A 1.
Mm-hmm.
You step out of the doors. And I'm sorry. Just give me the cliff notes on like where you actually are.
The compound is kind of on it's in a corner edge, a little off in the city, so probably
Okay.
not a lot of people around in this area. It's not a bad neighborhood by any
Okay.
means, but it's not necessarily like town
But
square.
you're on the in one of the outer districts.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And you're in like an almost like an office.
Yeah, that's where he or they start their day, yes.
Okay. So you step out, and as luck would have it, you are actually pretty close to where one of these town criers is reciting the news. Part of the reason you were able to hear them from inside, because they were so close. Bad news. You step out, and there is a crowd forming almost directly in front of the doors to your compound. So it is very difficult to get through the crowd. You're almost like barricaded inside by all of these bodies that are gathering. So outside of just crowd forming and the news being shouted, you don't really see or notice anything else of, noteworthiness.
What time of day is it? I'm sorry, it's the morning still, right?
It's the morning. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say we're like 8 a.m. People who start the early shift are well into their morning. Anybody else who hasn't started work yet would have been on their way to work by this time.
Gotcha. Yeah, the group leader is not awake yet.
Yeah.
Daniil will wait to inform them when they're awake. Yeah.
All right. Sam. Muse is currently not nearby any town criers. So Muse goes about their day as normal.
Yep.
What does that look like?
Being a little earlier in the morning, Muse starts their day with a little bit of panhandling.
Okay.
Having not secured the glorious role that they would like to in the current production of whatever play Shimmergulf is, the Shimmergulf Theater Group is performing.
The Shimmergulf players.
Yeah. But they are probably getting ready with their their few bits of talent to just do a little bit of panhandling and a little bit of crowd work in the nearby square, but haven't quite gotten there yet.
Okay. All right. You post up not too far from the theater that you had been auditioning at. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
So 1.
A 1.
Yep.
This early in the morning, there's not really anybody here. What are you doing to try and, like, are you just like wandering around with your turned up hat? Are you reciting dialogue from a play that you were once part of? Are you playing an instrument? What are you doing to try and earn a little bit of money?
Yeah, I think they are trying to recite lines and scenes from previous plays.
Okay.
And maybe perhaps with some musical accompaniment, but not really to any sort of grand, performance. They're still trying to wake up, but know that they have to get out early to beat a lot of the other, street performers and that kind of thing, and is clearly struggling this morning.
Sure. You are beginning this recitation, and you are reciting a particularly famous monologue from a play that you were recently a part of. It was a smaller group doing a production of Descent of an Angel, the fall and rise of the angel Zariel. And it is a famous monologue from the climactic battle that takes place between a group of adventurers and Zariel herself at the end of that play. Unfortunately, you only know like half of it.
Muse was not a main character. They were part of the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
Thus
Muse played an imp in that production.
Muse played imp number 4, and definitely had only memorized the part of the main monologue in hopes to be an understudy, and thus only remembers parts of it.
Mm-hmm. It is at this point, Muse, that you feel that small tremor in the ground after being summarily ignored by all of the admittedly very few passerby this morning. Biddy, how do you begin your day? What does a typical morning look like for you?
So obviously she's retired long ago. She was probably an adventurer once, but those days are long behind her. She wakes up with the sun and goes to bed with it. And
So Biddy has been up for hours at this point.
Yes, absolutely. She's probably like, she's had breakfast, she is fully dressed, and the curlers have been removed from her hair. It's done, Sophia Petrollo style. All of her cats have been fed. She is probably sitting in a lovely sun patch in her sort of rose-colored wingback chair by the window, having a nice mid-morning cup of tea. And when she hears the town crier shout that the king is dead, she pauses from her book and gives the white cat in her lap a stroke across the back and just kind of says, "Well, not what I was expecting this morning, Tic Tac." And
I'm sorry, is your cat's name Tic Tac or Tic Toc?
Tic Tac.
Hmm.
The cat's probably about as old as her, but you wouldn't know it. And she kind of goes on to say, certainly wasn't an old man by any means. I wonder if strange things are afoot. Well, our adventuring days are behind us, but perhaps we should keep an ear out for those that can help, huh? And the cat kind of looks at her and almost as if it understands what she's saying.
You all are going about your day, and you hear the chiming, the loud chiming of the city bells from the center of the city, from one of the many bell towers in the main keep. This is shortly after you all feel that tremor. You hear that tremor, the bells start going off. Walk, you see the actually, Walk, make me another d20 roll.
10.
10. Okay. You are flying up overhead. You're kind of flying like towards the center of the city again. And as the bells are chiming, you have a unique perspective. Where being up in the sky, you see all of the birds in the entire city take off and start flying mostly in the same direction into inland. That something more than just the bells stirs all of the birds up, and
like
they begin making their way out of the city.
I feel like Walk's feathers are like kind of getting a tingly feeling of like something's wrong and I don't know what it is, but there's some deep instinct says I should be going that way and not this way right now.
Just as you're having that thought, the ground opens.
Oh.
Inside one of the outer rings, inside one of the outer ring districts, the entire district just crumbles, and an enormous sinkhole opens. Somewhat in the city, somewhat outside the city, just immediately destroying everything in the area. The outer wall is completely collapsed. Most of the buildings on the outskirts of this hole are completely destroyed. And you see a creature that is, by your estimation, maybe I will say this. You first see a claw reach up out of this hole. And this claw on its own is the size of many of the smaller buildings.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I would like to switch gears for a moment.
Yay!
And all of your characters should probably roll initiative at this point.
Mm.
Come on, Bryn. Don't. Hey, not too bad. 16.
10. Bullshit rolls.
She's old.
I thought our main characters were
Yo,
rolling
your main
initiative.
character.
Oh.
Your high level character.
Oh. Okay. Shit. Okay. That's different.
Rhodes, what did you get?
14.
Otherwise, I'd give her a pass.
And Tina.
15.
Okay. Um. I'm doing math. Hold, please.
I thought Rhodes taught us that we were supposed to invoke math, and therefore it was easier when you have to do the math.
Works for me. So.
All right. So, Sam,
Yes. Oh, I was the
Who is-
highest.
who is
Yeah.
up first? You had a
Yes,
16,
guys, I had a
correct?
16. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, you beat me, so
Okay.
that's good news.
That's good. Barreling out. So the like these aren't like clock bells. These are warning bells.
Yes. The four of you
Would know that.
in your current perceptive status know that these are like the city's warning bells.
Perfect.
These are bells that you have not heard these bells rung since the time before you were named saviors of the realm.
Perfect. Then at the sound of those bells, coming barreling out of a slightly out of the norm stable that is set in a tower.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of this large window that accommodates the beast that emerges, a Pegasus and his rider burst out of this tower and immediately start doing almost circles around, and anybody seeing as sunlight kind of glints off the armor of the rider in this like silver and purple and very shiny full plate armor is this young-ish man with bright blonde hair and striking blue eyes, carrying a flaming great sword, and almost a excited grin at the thought of some sort of battle, as he and his Pegasus emerge and start doing circles in the sky above the city, searching
Okay.
for whatever danger.
You do not have to do circles. You see immediately. What is your character's name?
Grin, Grynn, and he almost gives off this like ethereal glow to him that is not just the sunlight coming off of his armor.
Okay. Grin and your Pegasus, you crash through this window, leaping and flying up into the sky, almost completely vertically. And you see almost immediately on the other side of the city, there is this crater that has formed, and just dust, smoke, what have you, is just billowing into the sky. You know exactly where the threat is, and you take off.
Yep.
At this point, you see so far, and Walk can see this. So far, there's only like one hand coming up out of this hole. At this point, you see the almost 100-foot long creature that looks ancient and almost primordial in its appearance. Its head is almost square shaped, like almost like rectangular, and it has a large mouth with exposed teeth, and its entire head and shoulders at this point that you can see are covered in scales and spikes. Its head is, you still kind of being on the other side of the city, the fact that you can see so much detail in this creature from so far away lends itself to the almost like the impossible enormity of the creature itself. And as its form begins to be almost shrouded in all of the dust and debris that it's kicking up, as it climbs out of this hole, you see a bright yellowish, almost white fleck just erupt from the ground from another part of the city, moving almost like a shooting star in its direction. That brings us to Tina.
That brings us to me.
Who answers the call of these warning bells?
So Signa is in Air Ganassi, but over the years of adventuring, their form it's left its mark. So they are a bluish gray color, with these sort of ever shifting swirls of silver and slate, and to the point where it looks like they're made of smoke, except for these static markings on up and down their arms, across their chest, even like crawling up their neck, that are in the shape of constellations. Signa is currently probably just having finished maybe an all-nighter in what I'm assuming the city has an observatory of some kind.
Absolutely.
Why would we not? So Signa is technically in residence there, although they do not spend a ton of time. They much prefer to be out traveling, investigating. But right now they've returned to the city probably recently, and have set up shop there, so they likely have been up all night observing the stars and are just getting ready to settle down when suddenly the ground trembles, at which point you just see their their skin shift a bit lighter, like, oh like that's not a thing that happens here.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately goes for a telescope to scan over the city and the horizon to see if they can pick up anything.
You look into this telescope, and all you can see is a dust.
Mhm.
Your telescope happens to be already pointed in the correct direction, and you are pretty close to like halfway between this event and the center of the city.
Okay.
So you look out your telescope, hearing the warning bells, and
All you see is
200 feet in the air,
yeah,
all you can see out the telescope is dust. Just
Yeah.
a dust cloud.
which is definitely not what I could view about 10 minutes ago
Mm-hmm.
when looking through the same telescope. Yes, well, in that case, seeing as this is bad. I mean, we had a feeling that there was going to be bad things, but there were signs, but we didn't know what they meant, and just kind of like gathering up their things, and as they head down and out of the observatory to, how far away am I?
I will say that you are probably a 1 minute's walk
Okay.
from, or a 1 minute's run rather,
Okay.
from the edge of this event.
Okay, then I will not actually, in an attempt to, since we don't know what we're dealing with, we don't know how much damage was done, and most of the trees that I might step in and out of could be gone right now, I will go on foot.
Okay. It is at this point, Grin, you can see that at this point, there are two massive clawed hands reaching up out of this hole. And you can see almost the entire, like, upper half of this creature. I would like you to make a history or religion check.
Oh, why the dump stat? Why pick on the dump stat? It's a 10
10.
Yeah.
Um,
in either category.
You don't remember what this creature is called, but there are a few distinguishing features that relate what you think this creature might be to some sort of, like, it's an apocalyptic event.
Sam knows what it is. You fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Grin doesn't care. He's gonna kill it.
He's gonna try.
He's gonna try to kill it.
I know that much about that little fucker. So yes, at this point, like, half of its body is out of this hole, and you see as it continues to climb, one hand takes, another step, and completely flattens, 2 or 3 houses that were in this district. That brings us to roads. What, a Saren hears the warning bells of the city. What do you do?
Hearing the warning bells, he bolts awake out of the bed that he's laying in. His bed partners are knocked out and don't hear anything. Stay asleep this entire time.
I
It
think
was a
it's
good
an
night.
important distinction that you said partners, plural.
Yes.
I'm just,
Uh,
I know this character fairly well, but not everyone does.
um, he bolts out of bed and for a half a second is like, man, I could just go back to sleep. But I'm a hero and the people love me. I gotta go do hero things. And gathers up his stuff and runs, starts bolting out, runs past Daniil, and is just gonna go see what's happening. Daniil notices as Asarin runs out of the compound that Asarin has basically like pulled up his pants and they're zipped but not buttoned, and he's basically got his button-up shirt on like one arm and it's just kind of like flapping in the wind as he's trying to like put the shirt on the other hand while also holding his rod and like other items that he needs for battle, and he's just racing out. There are a few other people in the compound that are very confused. Most people are still asleep in this compound. They're a night kind of group, though.
At this point, the
It's
overwhelming
enough. Okay.
majority of people are actually awake.
Then
This
that's
event happens in the neighboring district.
oh, then he would
As-
probably tell them as he's running out, as if people are like waking up and they're like, "Oh no, what's going on?" And the compound, in their various states of undress, he would tell them, "Don't worry, I will take care of this." And as he's running out, for those who don't know, Asarin is a incubus, and I proclaim him as basically a professional fuckboy.
As one does.
Yes.
So you run out the doors, blowing past Daniil, just as this almost like shockwave of dust and debris just rockets down the street. There is a crowd already formed just outside the door. Probably half of those people in the crowd are immediately knocked off their feet. And people are running, screaming, abject terror, and absolute mayhem erupts in the surrounding area.
Cool. Do I get close enough in this round to see it?
Make a perception check.
Because basically, I just want to like. I wonder if he knows what it is. You know, he's from hell, so maybe he knows. Maybe he's like, "Hey, Steve, how's it going, buddy?"
Dude, you showed up on the wrong
Steve,
street.
Like, fucking call first. You can't just show up to my house unannounced.
Not
Right,
even your house.
rude.
This isn't even my house.
Drive-bys are rude, Steve.
Oh yeah, he's not good at that. 9.
9. Actually, you're in the neighboring district. Roll that with advantage. You've got the dust cloud working against you, but I don't think that's enough.
16 then.
16. You
Newsflash.
see mostly as fires begin to start underneath this creature, you can see mostly in silhouette because of the dust cloud that's forming around them. You see towering over the inner wall separating the district you're in from the neighboring district. You see, again, mostly just in silhouette, you just see its like its head and it's slowly opening maw. But yeah, you do see it towering over the 30-foot wall in front of you.
And you realize it's not Steve, it's Alvin, and he's a bigger dick in the morning.
Ugh. Alvin.
Who told him? Who told him?
Who told him where I live?
Yeah.
God.
At this point, the screaming and shouts and everything coming from Asarin's direction draws the creature's attention. I need Asarin to roll a dexterity saving throw. I need Daniil to also roll a flat d20.
Okay. 21 for a Saren. Oh, Daniil only got a 4.
Oh.
Bye bye,
Daniil
Daniil.
got a Asarin, you are able to, as the creature fully comes out of this hole in the ground, it turns in your direction and it leans down, and with its head just you know how like a dog will like nudge toys with its nose? It is a similar motion to that, but this creature does that to the gatehouse
No.
of the wall and obliterates it. Where there was once a gatehouse, there is now a 20-foot wide clear path where a gatehouse used to be. Dodging some of the debris, Asarin actually dodges into the street to avoid it. I will say that Asarin, you still take 6 points of damage.
Oh.
Unfortunately, Daniil is not so lucky. There is a large chunk of stone and iron that rockets like directly into the doorway of the compound, and Daniil unfortunately has nowhere to go. And as the entire front of that wall collapses, unfortunately, Daniil is crushed under the rubble.
R.I.P. They looked really cute today, though. They had this like really cute corset on. It was,
Nice.
I'm a little
fashionable
sad.
vest.
I would want to hang with Daniil. Like, they seem like a fun time.
That brings us to court.
Uh,
Who answers the call?
My character's name is Leonora Jinx. She goes by Leo. She is a soldier, and she lives next door to Biddy. She helps the old lady take out her trash and things like that. However, this morning she managed to rise a bit earlier and was at her favorite bake shop. Having just stepped out with her usual morning tea and pastry as the ground ruptured, and immediately she would have seen whatever she was able to see from where she's at, and threw caution to the wind as well as her food and took off running towards the danger. She is an Aasimar, quite tall, long, white hair, but she's not old by any means. Just how her hair is. separated off to the side, a la Viking warrior style. And as she's running, she draws 2 long swords from her back.
Okay. As you run, you don't need to make any perception checks. You know exactly whatever it is that is happening, you know exactly where it's happening. Is there anything that you do on the way, as you are running? You are in one of the nearby inner city districts to where this event occurs. And you, as you are running towards the danger, actually give me either an athletics or acrobatics, your choice, because at this point you are going to be fighting the crowds that are fleeing in the opposite direction.
23 athletics.
Okay.
This
That's,
character did not dump strength.
that is more than enough. So you have such a commanding presence that even though there is a lot of panic and just mob mentality, people are stampeding at this point, they naturally give you a wide berth and, you know, make a hole for you as you run through the crowd in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I think she's definitely shouting at them to get out of the way. And those that are moving a little too slow, she would have thrusted out with a sword hand, not to hit them with a sword. But she's not one of those. She's not a murder hobo. Using mage hand to use as much force as it will allow. I think 10 pounds of force to hurry them along, moving out of her way. So whoever is not parting out of the way for her, she is assisting them to do so.
Okay. Cool. It's my turn now.
Everybody just roll a death save.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Not yet. This is only round 1.
Not yet.
So the creature, actually, Rhodes, have Saren make either a history or religion check, but with disadvantage.
Those okay. With forgot that he knew history for some effing reason. All right. Oh, fuck this disadvantage. 9.
Oh.
9. You're not sure what this creature is. It is a creature that cannot possibly exist naturally. You know that just because it's real fucking big. But you are unsure what this creature is or how it got here, or anything of that nature.
As he's running, he's like, oh, that's not even from any of the levels of hell I've been to. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Someone done fucked up.
Wait, that's not Steve. Okay. So, having its attention drawn towards Saren and the district that you are in, the creature is going to first use its movement to finish climbing out of the hole, and it is going to move into your district, and with every step it flattens and destroys more of the city. I need a Saren to make a wisdom saving throw.
You're not even close to being near me.
No, absolutely not.
That's right. You get
10.
Let's get a
a plus at
bonus.
10.
You succumb to its frightful presence.
Oh, of course.
You are frightened for 1 minute.
Yeah,
You
we
can
gotta-
repeat. You can repeat the
Get over
save at the end of each of your turns. You have disadvantage if you have line of sight to the creature,
Which
which you're gonna have.
Would you?
I'm just being real with you. It's too big to hide behind fucking anything. Okay. So it is going to make a bite attack against you. Does a 21 hit?
Yes. He's a warlock.
Didn't you hear her say he didn't actually button the pants?
yeah,
He doesn't wear armor. Can't see his abs if he wears armor.
Yeah.
I literally thought you were going to be like, he doesn't even wear underwear. Why would he wear armor?
he
Yeah.
doesn't.
I mean
either.
that one too,
Yes.
but like yeah.
Also, yes.
It's like I only wear
you
mage armor
take
because it's see-through.
you take 25 points of piercing damage, and you are grappled. Grappled and restrained. As it reaches down to bite you, it also uses its horns to make an attack against the building of the compound itself that you are standing in front of. And it is also, as it moves, it is just stepping on, at this point, dozens of townsfolk. Pretty much anybody that was in that crowd has a 50-50 shot of not having been stepped on this round.
Mm-mm.
And Grin, you also see this happen. And you can see the bite, the stepping on just people, the horn attack against the building, and then as the creature begins to turn, it lashes out with its tail in a wide arc, and in a essentially 60-foot cone, just levels anything in its path.
Jesus.
Cool.
And that brings us to Muse. Muse.
Yeah.
You are panhandling, trying to earn a little bit of money. You've fallen on some hard times when you hear the bells, and then the destruction, and then more tremors, and finally you hear and then see the screaming and rushing of people.
Muse is gonna book.
Okay.
They're just gonna try and get as far away from this thing as possible.
Okay. I would like you to roll a d20.
Hey, 16.
16. Where are you going?
Depending on where they are in the city, the closest gate, probably, or like closest border.
I'm gonna roll a d10 you are not in the central keep of the city. That's
Okay.
unreasonable. You're not there. On a 1 through 5, you are in one of the 5 inner districts. On a 6 through 10, you are in one of the outer districts. A 10, you were in the district with where the event happened.
Make it 10. I know it. I can feel it.
That was a 4.
Okay.
So you are already kind of as far away as you could be in the inner ring.
Okay.
So are you headed to seek shelter in the keep, or are you headed out of the city entirely?
I think out of the city entirely.
Okay.
So aiming for one of the other gatehouses that would allow access to the outer ring
Okay.
would be first goal.
Okay. So you are able to gather what little belongings you've brought with you this morning. And you are able to join a crowd of people, and you're all just kind of running together. Fortunately for you, you're pretty good at like keeping up with the crowds, so you do not get trampled.
Okay.
What does Grin do?
How far away is Grin?
I will say we're theater the minding this a little bit. I will say that Grin can move and then make attacks.
Okay. Grin is going to cast haste on himself and his Pegasus, because he's with a Find Greater Steed, you can cast it on both.
Yep.
So that'll take care of the travel, since the Pegasus can go 180 feet. Actually, faster than that, but the Pegasus is actually gonna go move, dash, whatever, and use the second action as a dodge.
Okay.
And with the extra action that Grin gets, he will take an, he's already lit his sword. I think the sword is he'll take his bonus action to light the sword, and...
I will say that in the previous round, you could have taken
done that. Okay.
Could have done that. So your sword is already lit.
Cool. That's fine then. Then I will just use that last action. That second action to attack the one time I'm able to.
Okay.
With the sword. Let's see. I need to find that. 13's probably not gonna hit.
Nope.
So yeah, the hide and the scales is a little bit tougher than Grin anticipates, and it just kind of slides right off.
You go to strike, and you're no stranger to creatures having an unnaturally thick hide or unnaturally tough scales.
Mm-hmm.
But there is something when you strike, you connect, kind of. But it is not only is it just a glancing blow, but it feels as though your sword literally bounces off its hide, as if you had struck a steel shield.
Do I see a Saren?
Yes.
Okay.
You can see a Saren locked in the jaws of this creature.
Can I get close enough to utilize that 10 with I would assume probably with enough movement, get a Saren within my aura of courage, which is 10 feet.
I'll say no on this round, but you will have more than enough movement.
Okay.
To be able to do that possibly next round.
That's fine. That's my turn.
Okay. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. At the end of your turn, I am going to use a legendary action to attempt to swallow a Saren.
I did not consent. Consent matters.
Yes.
First rule of his sex cult: consent matters.
That is going to hit with.
His
No.
name is
a
Saren, not
20-something.
Yes Saren.
I can't talk
So
about
it has to land a bite attack, which it does. You take the bite damage, which is 19. You take 29 points of piercing damage,
Uh-oh.
and you are swallowed.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Cool.
And the grapple ends.
Okay.
The grapple ends, but now in its stomach, you have the blinded and restrained conditions. But you have total cover against any effect that originates from outside the creature. So,
Yippee.
silver lining.
Yeah. You know.
Cool. That brings us to Signa.
Yeah.
I will say if you use your full movement, and you would certainly be within whatever kind of like ranged attack.
Yeah.
range you need to
Probably
be.
on the way. Would I have had time to wild shape
Yes.
at some point there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, on the way I would have gone basically, I want to say incorporeal, but quasi-corporeal. Think smoke monster from Lost.
Okay.
Basically. Large, slightly more amorphous being of smoke with tiny little stars in it.
Okay.
And
Are
just
you shaping
I'm-
into like an air elemental?
no, that's Stars Druid. I'm wild shaping into
okay.
I think for right now, I'm gonna wild shape into Archer just because I don't know what the fuck is out there yet, because I haven't seen
Okay.
it.
At this point, you see it.
Yeah, yep.
It is an impossibly large
Big
force
thing.
of destruction.
I am an Aragonasi. Would I recognize this thing?
Make for me either a history or religion check.
Is this like the thing that your parents told you about at night when they were telling you, like, read this book? Oh, and it's like Book of Revelation, and it's the end of the world. Are they the same? They probably are. Religion. Yeah. Religion and history.
Religion or history. One or
History.
the other.
Okay. History is a 17.
17. you do know what this creature is.
Oh.
It is... The creature goes by many names.
Uh-oh.
It is a harbinger of destruction.
Awesome.
It is the end.
Hmm.
It is many other names from many other cultures.
Cool.
But in the common tongue, it is referred to as Tarask.
You.
Ah. Awesome.
And absolutely, it is the stuff of children's fairy tales and nightmares. That
Nice.
it is a creature that is the harbinger of apocalyptic events and the end times and all sorts of things.
Cool. Okay, let me make sure to mark off my stuff. All right. Yeah, so there's just bad shit happening all around here, and people are running, and a lot of people are not running because they don't have legs anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and things are just really, really, really bad. Where
So what are you doing?
where are you, Grin? Are you facing off with this thing?
Yeah. I'm up probably about eye level with it.
And how much would I know about this thing in general?
That is mostly it is fabled to be an unstoppable destructive
An unstoppable
force.
force of destruction.
Yeah, it
This
is.
This dude is standing in front of it, just like
Yeah, I mean, you've never read anything concrete about an actual creature. Most people don't believe that it's a real
this is
creature.
one of the this is the equivalent of like folk tales of something really bad in the forest. Like there's a thing that we came way back in the day and destroyed the entire civilization.
Right.
Okay, cool. Awesome. That sounds like a wonderful time. How can I get fairly close to Grin? Can I kind of roll up in here?
Grin, if you are eye level with this thing, you're 50 feet in the air.
Okay, I'm not anywhere near Grin then.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
playing.
just throwing that out there.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
not
was trying to
anywhere
get
near.
his Saren before he got eaten.
Eaten.
Got eaten. Yeah, no. Well, that sucks. I am going to then F that. To start with, I am going to just buff myself, I guess. And what do I have for that? Do I have something that allows me to do it? Well, I'm gonna fling an arrow at it first. Just because I
Okay.
have it up. And it's probably going to be useless, but that is okay. It is a ranged spell attack up to 60 feet as bonus action, just as an FYI.
Okay.
And it is, God, like 25. Yeah, 25
25
to hit.
What? Is this a spell or an ability?
No, it is not a spell. But it is a ranged spell attack. So in this particular form, I can, as a bonus action, make a ranged spell attack, but it's not casting a spell. It is a magical effect, though.
Okay.
And it does 2d8 plus 5 radiant if it hits.
Okay. And it is a specific singular targeted attack.
Specific singular target once per turn as a bonus action. Just in this case, it literally looks like a shooting star, just kind of flies out.
Okay. You fire this magical radiant beam at the creature, and you watch the beam go from your
Mm. Yeah.
hand
I mean,
toward it goes
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah,
You
toward-
watch its path towards the creature. It connects
Mhm.
and literally ricochets harmlessly off into the sky.
awesome. Great. Okay, so we're definitely not gonna do that. Yeah, great. So then as my action, I am going to Ooh. And I can see you.
Tina, while you're thinking about what action you are gonna take,
Yeah,
Rhodes,
you're in the stomach.
who else might
Oh.
be just in this town reacting to the massive pile of Tarask shit that's just his clan?
Also in the compound is Consuela,
Okay.
who comes like once all the hubbub started. Consuela is a mid late 30s, half elven woman, with very fair skin and a really long like dirty blonde braid that she keeps her hair in, very like hippie aesthetic. And she generally acts as kind of the uh, events coordinator for the compound. And when
How do you
all of
get
this,
that job?
well,
She organized the orgies? Is that what she does?
I didn't say that word. You said that word.
She makes sure there's like fresh bottles of
Yeah.
lube everywhere.
You
like
know,
there's
y-
bowls of condoms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clean sheets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Clean sheets. She makes sure the flyers get out to the rest of the city in
Mhm.
case anybody wants to come to like an open orgy night. Um,
New members.
yeah, new members welcome.
It's their
Uh,
swingers night too.
Oh yeah.
She
So,
comes running out to check on Daniil
Uh-oh.
specifically.
Uh-oh.
you roll a d20 for me.
19.
19. You are able to, the entire like front wall of the building is kind of collapsed. It's just rubble everywhere. And you're able to move a few of these stones and pieces of rubble around, and you find the very clearly very dead Daniil.
Oh, poor Daniil.
Just outside, Consuela, you see just taking up almost the entire width of this major throughway. You can see just one of the resting feet of this creature. It is, and I need you to make another d20 roll.
Uh-oh.
18.
18. You some fucking how you are able to keep your mind. However, you do still succumb to its frightful presence. Tina, what was that last action you wanted to do?
I'm gonna cast Aura of Vitality, so 30-foot radius around myself.
Okay.
Just to have it up because there's just a lot of death happening right now.
Mhm.
And everything I've ever heard about this creature is basically like death follows in its wake. And, a picture of a whole bunch of bodies. It's basically. So we're going to
I
throw
am
that
Death,
up.
the destroyer of worlds.
Exactly. That's basically what's going on. So I'm going to throw that up just so it's there. And as a bonus action, following turns, I can heal people.
Okay.
And I will not get super close to this thing. However, that's kind of unavoidable because it's fucking huge.
Yeah.
And seeing as there's a crazy dude up there with the griffin, I'd like to potentially get semi close to crazy dude. I'm not climbing in the air though. I'm not doing a fly.
Okay.
Not doing a fly this turn.
All right. That will bring. So, what does Aura of Vitality actually do?
Aura Vitality is 30-foot radius. Aura moves with you, centered on you. Bonus action can heal a creature within the aura.
Okay.
2d6.
Oh, perfect.
So I can basically dole that out. I can do it to one creature, but since it's a bonus action, I could also supplement it with whatever.
Okay.
It'll hang out on me, and yeah. Just in case that, maybe it's needed.
All right. At this point, at the end of your turn, it is going to wheel on this fly that has come into its area, and it is going
Buzz,
to
motherfucker.
rear. It is going to rear up and make a claw attack against Grin.
Come on.
25.
Hold on. Reaction, Glorious Defense adds 3 to my AC, which will make it 25.
Nice.
Okay. So it at the last possible moment, you bring up your sword in a guard position, and the flames burn bright, obscuring your form momentarily, and the claw misses.
With that, I get to make an attack.
Okay.
Yay.
29.
29 hits.
Perfect. We're gonna fucking smite.
Yeah, we should do that.
And you know what?
Always.
We're just gonna start from the top and work our way down. So we'll do a 4th level smite on that sucker.
Okay.
Starting.
We're just gonna start this. So sorry, I'm gonna have to talk this out because I built this man.
Rhodes, while Sam is doing that math, we'll go to Asarin.
Oh.
You are blind and restrained in the belly of this creature.
Many
I
charges?
will say that you feel the juices in this creature's stomach begin to eat away at and dissolve your clothes.
Cool. So Asarin doesn't like that necessarily. He doesn't want to get dissolved. So he is going to use 2 of the charges from his Ring of Shooting Stars, and he is going to create a giant ball of lightning inside this thing's stomach.
Okay.
And it specifically says when a creature other than you, so I don't take damage, comes within 5 feet of the sphere, it's definitely within 5 feet because it's inside. It will discharge the lightning, and so it needs to make a Dex saving throw. Can it make a Dex saving throw against something happening inside its stomach?
I am going to roll a save for it.
Okay.
I have a mechanics question while you're rolling.
Yes.
That. Does Great Weapon Master also apply to smite rolls? Great Weapon Fighting, where you can re-roll a 1 or 2 on damage dice.
Yeah, fuck it. It won't help you. Go for it.
That's mean.
Sure, why not? You need all the dice you
Yeah,
can
you
get.
need all the help you can get. Rhodes, I rolled an 18 on that deck save.
Wow, it's huge and it's inside of it. How could it make the save? Doesn't make sense. Saren's like inside, like logically, this doesn't work.
Oh my god.
So go ahead and roll the damage. Actually, you know what? Because it is inside it, I am just going to burn a legendary resistance to succeed on the save.
That's a
makes you feel
legendary
better.
resistance, though. That's great.
Yeah. And from inside, Saren's like, all right. Fuck you too, buddy.
Does it still take half damage?
Oh.
Sam, do you have that damage?
Yeah, 15 fire and 34 radiant.
Okay.
And I'm sure I'm missing one somewhere, but that's what I...
I'm gonna tell you right
That's
now,
what I got.
it is immune to fire.
Cool, really glad I grabbed his fucking sword that does fire damage.
Um,
I'm just gonna
you
put
said
those dice
34
away then.
radiant.
Yeah. Yes, 34 radiant.
Okay. So that was
my reaction.
your reaction against its legendary reaction.
Yeah.
At the end of Tina's turn.
Yes.
Rhodes, we already did your turn. That brings us to Court. What is we will actually, what is Leo doing?
So she is charging towards it. I'm not sure how far
I'll say
away
at
she
this
was.
point, you're close enough. It takes all of you guys a little while to get there, except for Saren. But you're all able to, by this point, you all meet up.
Okay. In that case, as I'm running and getting close to it, I will sort of take several big long steps. And as I do so, I use my where is it? Sorry. Fuck. There it is. This character has so many things. I will use my telekinetic movement, and I will propel myself into the air with a flying speed double my walking speed.
Okay.
And I would like to try to land on its head as I am
Nice.
in the air and pulling my blades out.
How high can you jump?
I mean, I would have 60 feet to go in the air.
You can just go 60 feet in the air.
It says what is it? Telekinetic Adept, Psi-Powered Leap. As a bonus action, this is my bonus action. You can propel your body with your mind. You gain a flying speed equal to twice your walking speed until the end of your current turn.
Okay.
Once you use this bonus action, you can't.
So
do
you are
again.
literally flying.
Yes.
Okay. You are now on its head, 50 feet in the air.
And I assume I got there in time to see it swallow you, Saren. I'm not sure.
Yeah, as you're approaching, you watch it swallow a Saren.
Yeah, so I will.
Usually means something so much different.
Yeah.
Don't think that's the kind of swallow he usually means, but and she will then take her 3 attacks straight,
Okay.
trying to like drive her swords like into its head, being like, "Spit him out, you motherfucker!"
Okay. Go ahead and make your 3 attacks.
Okay, So, first one with my Corpse Slayer longsword. That's probably not going to hit with a 2.
No. I'm gonna let you know
second-
right now, 25 is the number to beat.
Okay, so second attack also does not hit. That dice. And third attack is closer, but still not a 25. So she lands on it.
You're surfing it.
Like you
Yeah.
you land on it and you're just like beating it on the head with your swords, but you are obviously having absolutely no effect. Like your
Yeah.
sword strikes are literally just clanging and bouncing off
Yeah.
of its steely carapace.
What the fuck is this? And then she's just continually just spit.
Do we
Uh,
hear that? Do we hear that?
Yeah, absolutely. She's like screaming.
I just like
What the
shout back the
fuck?
name of the thing.
At this point, it is going to the creature is going to try and like kind of just like scrape you off of its head. And it is going to make a claw attack against you.
That's not nice.
That is 30 something. 31.
Yeah.
I don't like these creatures. They make me use all of my dice.
I think the world's smallest violin just started playing.
Sir, I'm gonna tell you to get fucked.
Sam, this is not. It's only 8:30 for you. No pillow talk.
Guys, we can't. You can't do that
Leo,
till after
you
10.
take 25 points of slashing damage.
That's not nice.
That is not nice.
That's not nice.
And at this point, any of you who did not make the wisdom save against the frightful presence, if I didn't already ask for that, go ahead and make that now.
I'm immune, and if anybody's within 10 feet of me, they are also immune.
Oh, you might be.
I'm on
You
top of his
enter,
head.
you enter the aura
yeah.
120 feet out. So no one would get that benefit.
We would have had to make the save.
You would have had to
on
make
our
the
way in.
save on
Got
your
it.
own.
I'm immune anyway.
Yeah, you're immune anyway.
Sorry,
I
guys.
rolled a 28.
28's
What
fine.
is this wisdom save? Oh, 10.
10. I won't further punish you for this, but go ahead and make another wisdom save, this time with disadvantage,
Okay.
for being the end of your turn.
Okay.
You are frightened for a minute, so you would have disadvantage on your attack rolls.
Fuck. That's 2.
Okay, you are still frightened.
Do I need to? Is this the frightened where I need to move away, or just where I get disadvantage on my attack?
Again, I won't punish you for this at this point, but you cannot willingly move closer to it.
Okay.
And your attack rolls against it have disadvantage.
Okay.
Then that will lead us to Walk.
Yeah, walk is.
You are flying
like,
above this.
just like wide-eyed, like holy fuck, am I dreaming?
What is going through Walk's mind right now? You have literally a bird's eye view of this battle beginning. And an entire quarter of the city is already destroyed.
Well, at the moment, I don't think I can do anything because this thing is clearly huge, crushing buildings. There seem to be people who can do very glowy things down there along with it. doing glowy things.
Okay.
I can't do glowy things. So we're going, but at the same time, I don't want to give into that instinct that is left, that is just the general animal instinct to get the fuck out of this place.
Okay.
Because I'm sort of transfixed by this scene that is playing out in front of me, like it's like it's literally one of the plays that I would have gone to see somewhere in the city. Probably, honestly, probably put on by like one of the temples as a warning, like, the bad shit's going to
So
go.
at this point, are you just like flat? Like, are you just
I'm-
stopped
yeah.
in disbelief
Yeah,
that
I think
this is
in
real life?
yeah, and disbelief, like this isn't a thing that happens. This is not a thing that happens, like not here, not anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, people tell stories about it, but they tell stories about all sorts of stuff, and most of it was made up to scare you, to stop you from going in the woods.
Okay.
I grew up in the woods. None of that shit's there. This isn't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Okay.
I'm transfixed and
So yeah, you
staying
you
a safe distance away, though. Like,
Yeah, you spend the next few moments, you're just transfixed, stationary in the air, a few, 100 or so feet above the ground. What is Biddy doing?
oh, Biddy, saving her cats.
Sorry. Forgot. I
It's
forgot
hard to
You're
remember
Biddy.
you were talking
everyone's
about.
names.
I know, but like I'm also going last, so much things keeps happening before my turn.
I'm
Biddy?
trying to break it up for you guys.
No, you're totally fine. That was on me. I wasn't paying the attention I should have. Biddy is Biddy, I'm sure, can see out her window the shenanigans happening.
Yeah, you can see the dust cloud. You can hear the bells continue to chime through all of this, and you can hear and see the screaming panic that is flowing like a river through the city.
So, as I mentioned previously, she was an adventurer in her youth. And I think she would take a second stroking Tic Tac as she silently communicates with her patron, the Great Old One. And pretty much says, "Are you sending your minions, Master?
Are you sending the escorts?"
Um,
Come to take the city."
roll a d20.
11.
When Biddy was an adventurer, what was her weapon of choice?
Oh, good question. My instinct is to say a scythe.
Okay.
Or one of those not the pole, I forget what it's called. A sickle, maybe? Handheld.
Yeah,
crescent-shaped.
a sickle.
Yeah.
You don't hear any response, but your eyes are drawn to the far wall of your sitting room, where there, hanging on the wall, is a pair of sickles.
Oh, perhaps there are some adventures left for us in the world. She'll kind of just like slowly get up from her chair, as one does when they're, old as fuck. And just kind of slowly start gathering her things, like taking her time as if this is not an emergency.
Okay. despite the abject terror and panic just outside your home.
100%.
Perfect. I love
Yeah.
it. That brings us to Leo, you already made your turn.
I did.
That brings us to me. At the beginning of my
I
turn.
don't like how happy you are about this.
I know.
Ooh, it's my turn.
His voice went up at the end of it and everything.
Mhm.
I love it.
So
Hey. What did I do here?
$22. At the beginning of my turn, Saren, you take 54 points of acid damage.
Sarah's not gonna make it out.
I mean, you didn't kill him in the last campaign, but you're literally 1 hit point
I'm not
away
even-
this time, so
Really?
go ahead.
Oh
I kn-
no!
I don't think I even know that Asarin is in there. Like,
Wait,
Asarin was
what?
gone before I got there.
His legend will live on.
do, do, do. At this point, since the rest of you are all here as well, Signa,
Yeah.
you are going to be the target of a bite attack.
A bite attack. Okay.
That is a 25 to hit.
I'm pretty sure this thing, I'm pretty sure that you can't not hit me.
Depending on what its to hit is.
I feel like this thing is like, my AC is not that high.
What's your AC?
17.
I can't not hit you.
Oh my
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like
I
there's
feel like
just,
you can't not hit any of us. Like, I'm not that much higher than that.
Does anybody have an AC above 20?
Currently yes.
Then
Technically.
it is possible to miss.
it is possible to miss you.
But if you hit me, probably not for long.
All
I got
right,
it.
so Tina,
Yeah.
you are grappled as
Okay.
this bite connects.
Mhm.
You also you also take 46 piercing damage.
Okay, and I have resistance to piercing and
Okay.
bludgeoning and slashing.
Okay. This is non-magical.
Okay.
So you, what did I say? 46.
46, so
you take 23, but you are still grappled and restrained.
Okay.
Where are you in its mouth?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bite. That's
it
right.
Bites,
Is she within
it
30
bites
feet of me? I'm on its head.
I'll say sure.
Yeah, if you're on its head.
Yeah, you're on its head. It reaches down to bite,
Can I do a reaction?
Sure.
I'm gonna use my psionic power, protective field. I can reduce the damage taken by 1d10 plus 2.
No.
Okay.
I was gonna try that for you, Saren, but you got swallowed before I could
You
get
got
there.
swallowed first.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
You should have stayed in
So-
bed.
So Tina, reduce your damage by another 8 points.
Sweet. Yeah, thank you.
used one of my psionic die.
So, that is that. I am also going to make a claw attack against Grin and Leo.
Oh, no.
Leo, that is a 23. Grin, that is a 28.
Yeah.
Which, wait, can I see either of them? Are they within 30 feet of me?
Is whatever you're gonna do require you to do something that you can't do while restrained?
No, it's just a reaction.
What is it? What you
Cosmic
got?
Omen. Whenever a creature you can see within 30 feet of you is about to make an attack roll, saving throw, ability check, you can use your reaction to roll a d6 and subtract it from the roll.
Okay.
Which of them, or are both of them within 30 feet of me?
Well, I definitely am because
You definitely
I used
are.
that.
I'm not sure about
I don't know
you.
how far Sam is.
No, probably just Leo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if I could get both of you in my bulwark, and I think you're
Yeah.
just out of my range, Sam.
Let's see. Is it gonna work? No, it's only gonna reduce it by 3 anyway. The
Okay.
attack against you, Court.
My AC is 19, so it's just
Yeah.
like one too high.
Yep.
All right.
Oh well. That's-
Alas,
Alas.
took tough.
So,
Have a lot of hit points, but not for long.
so both of you are going to get hit with these claws.
I know.
Leo, you take 21 points of damage. Non-magical
That's piercing damage, right?
Slashing.
flashing.
Slashing. Okay.
Flashing from the claw.
I do have resistances, so I just wanted to make sure, but it's not that.
And then Grin, 28 points of non-magical slashing damage.
Okay.
It then is going to use its tail attack and target a few other buildings. And as it moves away, it is going to also use its horn attack to destroy another building in its way. Leo, you are on its head.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, which of these dice is gonna fuck me over right now? Let's see.
Yes, is the answer to that.
14.
14.
If she's within 10 feet of me, you get +3 to that. But I don't know if you're within 10 feet of me now.
Good question. I would assume that if I'm not within 30 feet of you for
Then
the effects, then probably not
not.
close enough for
I will say that that is enough. You're on its head. It's using its head to make this attack. But you are only going to take half damage.
She's like holding on. Like she's
You're
bull
riding
riding.
this thing.
Yeah. What is that Genuine playing in the background?
It's actually playing from inside.
Ysaren is like,
Yeah.
hey.
I mean, yeah, that's a song he would play.
29 halved to 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
As you are literally used as a battering ram against a building. Grin, as the creature moves away, if you'd like to make an
I already burned my
opportunity.
reaction this round.
That's true.
Just
So
smack it
that
the first
is, so that is it. That will bring us to Grin. It is now your actual turn.
Cool. Let's make some attacks. By some, I mean 3.
Mm-hmm.
Tina, think about what
Misses.
Signa is doing.
Okay.
All 3 will miss.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's shitty. Bonus action. Fuck it. Bonus action. Bright white, and yellow wings will erupt from him. And his celestial radiant soul will emerge. He will not stop being on the Pegasus, but for now.
Okay.
And that's my turn because I suck.
I don't think it counts as sucking if the creature we're fighting has a 25 AC.
I rolled a plus 10. You guys.
Well, I rolled a plus 9, and I would have to
I
still
mean,
roll a 16 to hit.
a plus 10, you still have to roll a 15.
I know.
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
rolled a 14.
How much do we care about this city? Do we really care about the
mean,
city?
This.
That is up to you guys.
I mean, listen,
How much
like,
do you
if
guys
we
care
die,
about this
it's not
world?
gonna
I have
matter.
plane shift. I'm just saying.
We just bounce.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah,
Well,
that's it.
Our
for
friend
me.
is in its belly.
At the end of Sam's turn, I use a legendary
Also,
action.
friend is probably a very strong word. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
I use a legendary action to try and swallow Signa.
And you
Honestly, I
just
think Leo would join the RG.
stop. I mean, if we all get swallowed by this thing, then we could plane shift.
True.
That is, it's like a 30.
Yeah. I mean, that will obviously hit.
So you are swallowed whole.
Hey, what up?
Sup?
you
Welcome to the
also-
party.
You also take. You take 44 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
44 halves to 22.
Oh, yes, that's right. 22 damage. All right. And I will need to make a con save for concentration, which is way more than
Oh
enough.
shit! Yeah, I was supposed to do that.
I rolled a 22 on my con save, so.
Damn, girl.
Sam, what is Muse arrives at the gate to get into the outer ring. There is because you're approaching a gatehouse, all of the massive people that are just running, they're the word, it was just there. The gatehouse becomes like a choke point.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What do you do to try and get out of the city? You are now like kind of like stuck in this crowd.
Oh, there's not really much she can do at that point. Yeah, I think they're just gonna try and... I mean, they're stuck in this crowd. There's really not much to be able to do, so they're gonna try and just... acrobatics, basically, just slide through the crowd and try and be as fluid about it as possible.
Okay. Go ahead and make, just roll me a d20.
I really need you all to stop. 8.
8.
Yeah.
You start trying to weave your way through the crowd, and as you begin to get closer to the gate itself, you see that in front of you, part of the problem is that there are a lot of people trying to do mostly the same thing that you're doing. Unfortunately, those other people are really bad at it, and it is almost starting a riot. And just as you get, by the time you really realize that that's what's happening, you're like in it already. And all of a sudden, the crowd just erupts into violence around you, and as punches and kicks and fists start flying and people begin to scatter, Muse, you are caught in it and unable to react well, and you take an elbow to the face that dazes you and knocks you down, and Muse is trampled by the crowd.
Bye-bye, baby.
So that was Sam's turn. Tina.
Okay.
We will actually start with Walk.
Okay.
Walk takes a moment, and you're able to like collect yourself, and you begin to see these crowds on the insides of a couple of these gatehouses. And these gatehouses are becoming just bottlenecks of people trying to escape the city.
Oh, Lord. This is... How much... There's a lot of rubble around, right?
At the end of the city that you're at, there's very little.
Oh, okay. But as you get closer to the...
yeah, I mean, it's the most is like at the epicenter of the event, and as this giant creature moves, it is just leaving a trail of destruction in its wake.
Walk's gonna do something really dumb that his parents probably told him explicitly to never do, and I want to fly toward this thing, and it may take another turn, and along the way, I want to swoop down and pick up some kind of rock.
Okay.
And I want to get above it high. Like, I don't know if this thing can stand on its hind legs. I don't know how to, like, I want to be up, and I just want to drop it. I just want to try and draw its attention. I don't know if it can fly. Maybe that shit can float. I don't know.
Go ahead and roll a d20.
Mostly, I just want to get it to stop focusing wherever it's focusing now. It's going to be probably really bad for me. 19.
19. You...
Couldn't have been a fucking 20.
You are able to sweep it down around to that part of the city, and around where it was like slashing its tail around, it's all rubble.
Yeah.
And you grab the biggest stone block.
I'm like
that
really
you
struggling trying to
that you
get
can
up.
carry, and you begin to fly straight up as high as you can.
Yeah.
Grin and Leo both see this Aarakocra kid, you know, get into the mix and to grab this giant rock and start flying straight up above you.
Insane. Idiot is going to die.
What is
Somebody
Signa
else.
doing?
Okay.
Signa, you
Signa
are
is,
in
I
the
am in-
belly of the creature,
I am in the belly of the
blind and restrained.
I'm in the belly of the creature, blind and restrained. Can I, I'm like next to a Saren, presumably?
I mean, it's a really big creature. It's got a really big stomach, but you're both in it.
We're both in it. But we can't see each other. We're just both in
Can't
there
see each
somewhere.
other.
All right. Well, then, first first things first, I am going to change form to Chalice form, which allows me to heal one person per turn. No
Okay.
bonus action, no action. It's just I
Um,
get to do it if I cast another healing spell.
do
I get
you?
I do not need to see anything. I do not need to have cast
Uh,
anything. I
Do
don't
you still
need to-
have that other aura active?
Yeah, I kept it up.
Okay.
So I'll have that up, and I want to also change so that I can possibly boost that if I need to.
Okay.
And then for my action, I'm going to cast Freedom of Movement on myself.
Okay.
Because this is not good. I don't want to be in this thing. There we go. And just so I have
Saren,
that.
it'll be your turn next.
Yes. And then as a bonus action, I'm gonna, since the only person I have around me is myself right now that I can come near, I'm going to give myself 2d6 hit points.
Okay.
And do I have movement? Can I move in the stomach?
You are restrained, so no.
No,
Well,
not at
you've-
all.
Well, what does freedom of movement do?
It's spells or magical effects, so I don't think it counts. I think freedom of movement is only difficult terrain spells, magical effects that would do that. You can get out of grapples.
Yeah, you are not grappled right
No.
now. You are just restrained.
Yeah, I want that on me though because I don't trust this fucker if I get out of here.
You're not
Then I
grappled,
am
you're
cool.
digesting.
Yeah, I'm chilling in here. I'm chilling in here for a little bit. Oh no. Okay. Sorry. I knew what I was going to do with my bonus action. Bonus action was going to be I'm going to cast Sanctuary on myself.
You're gonna cast Sanctuary on yourself.
Yep.
Freedom of movement isn't a cantrip, though, is it?
Oh shit, that's right. I did it on this turn. Yeah. Then no, I will not do that then. I will keep it. Okay, I'm good then.
Okay.
I have my points. We're good.
At the end of Tina's turn, I'm going to make a single claw attack
Uh-oh.
against
Which
Grin.
one? Grin. Which one of y'all? Come join us.
That is
What's a claw
a 28.
Yeah.
The claw is
Where's my dad?
25 points of slashing damage.
Concentration roll is so half would be 12.
12.
Still hasted.
Okay.
Ooh.
Um,
Oh, that could be bad.
That
So
could
that
be real bad.
is-
I took a real big gamble with haste.
Oh.
so that is the end of Tina's turn.
I couldn't
Yes.
accept that extra action.
Rhodes. We will actually begin with Consuela.
Oh.
Okay.
Consuela sees that that the creature is beginning to move off. And you are left kind of in this building, which is more almost like a boarding house than like compound. Boarding house with a small courtyard, we'll say.
Mhm.
And you begin to see this creature start to move off. and as the dust begins to settle, you can hear the screams and cries of all of the injured and dying townsfolk around you.
All right. So you say move. It's like moving away from the
Moving away from you.
from
yeah.
them particularly. Okay. In that case, she is going to basically just go straight into coordinator mode, and she's going to start like telling people, hey, like you guys, you people, gender non-specific, that are stronger, start moving that rubble so that we can GTFO, like you go pack, just grab the essentials of what you think we might need. No, I don't care if it's your favorite, that's not an essential, just the essentials. And it's just trying to, take charge, try to get people to safety.
Just because you put it in your mouth doesn't make it a toothbrush. Got it.
Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Go ahead and roll a d20.
11.
11. You start shouting orders. There are a lot of people in this boarding house that are injured themselves. There are a few other residents that are already dead, not having a good effect on morale, but you are able to keep it together just enough to get yourself and a few others out of the building and into the street before the boarding house collapses.
It hurts more that you destroyed his compound than killing a Saren. I hope you know that. That hurts more.
And that brings us to a Saren.
Okay. I'm blinded and restrained, but
Yes.
could I hear I can't think of a better term than splash when the other body dropped in here? I just want to know if I know there's another being in here.
Make a perception check with disadvantage, as you are trying to listen for something beyond the sound of your own screams and digestion.
7.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. So I have 2 stupid ideas.
I mean, at 1 hit point, no idea is stupid, right?
I don't know. One of them's really dumb.
I do that one.
Okay. He's going to take his alchemy jug, that is usually beer or wine, and he's going to turn it into fresh water and pour it around him to negate any acid. Like, he's trying to water down the stomach fluids to not be turned into goo and negate the acidity. Told you it was stupid.
Should have done milk.
So good. It's so
What's a
good.
Saren's intelligence?
His intelligence, he's got 14. He's not dumb.
Are you sure about that?
He told me to do the stupid thing.
You did.
I did. I mean, I'm really curious what the other stupid thing was, but
The other thing wasn't stupid. It would just hurt the person I don't know is there.
oh. Yeah, I mean, do you do that? Do you do something else? I don't want to feel. I feel like I've influenced you, and I don't want to have that feeling.
Oh, that's fine. In that case, I don't know that anyone else is in here, and
Mhm.
he, like, is trying to just stop this thing and whatever the fuck it is. Again, he doesn't know what it is. He's been inside the stomach most of the time, so he's gonna cast Synaptic Static.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is an intelligence saving throw that needs to be made, and it's each
Okay.
creature within a 20-foot range. Sorry. Didn't know that there
I'm
was
assuming
anything
I'm in a
there.
20-foot range. How big is the thing?
Yes. It's a 20-foot radius.
Okay, radius.
Radius. I'm
Uh,
sorry. Yes. Yeah.
And I'll say because you're restrained by its stomach muscles,
Mm.
I'm going to say that you center it on yourself.
Mm.
Mhm.
That's fair.
Make an Arcana check. Saren.
12.
12. Okay. I will say that you are able to do this in such a way that you do not catch yourself in it.
Yeah.
But I will need you said it's intelligence saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
Signa, what did you get?
21.
Okay.
But at least does it.
I rolled a net 1.
Nice.
I'm going to use my second legendary resistance to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, everyone. I have contributed to this fight.
More than I have.
Still going.
Too
Still gonna
bad.
take. Still gonna take half damage.
Oh, Jesus. If I roll like garbage, it doesn't matter. All right. Jesus. Okay. Here's the other ones. Oh, this set of dice wasn't that bad.
Let's go, buddy.
28 points of damage.
Damn, that's still good though.
Okay.
And
28
then
halved to 14. Right.
yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to get it to have a minus to its attacks for everybody else. Sorry.
That's okay.
That's good.
All right. That is Rhodes.
Valiant
Uh,
heroic effort.
Big
So
damn
that
hero.
is Court's turn. We will
Okay.
start with Leo.
Honestly, she's just gonna try to hit it. Actually, first she is going to use her she's gonna expend a psionic dice. It doesn't say it's a bonus action or anything.
Okay.
To use her guarded mind. It means I have resistance to psychic damage, but if I start my turn charmed or frightened, I can spend 1 psionic energy dice and end every effect on myself.
Nice.
So
Okay.
I'm no longer frightened of it.
Okay.
So there is that. Which means I can just gonna take my 3 attacks at it, but I'm not at disadvantage now, so I'm straight rolling.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. So this one is going to be a 17 plus 9 is 26 to hit.
That
Do I have
hits.
that right?
Yeah.
All right. And I'm going to use a psionic dice on it as well. So that's going to be 10 points of slashing damage and 1d10 plus 2 psychic damage, 6 points of psychic damage.
So a total of 16.
Yes. Second attack is going to be a 28 to hit.
That hits.
And that's going to be 5 points of damage, of slashing damage. And then last attack.
This is all magical, right?
Yes. Last attack does not hit.
Okay.
So it's my. How far away from me are you, Grin?
I have no idea.
More than 30 feet?
Is its head raised?
You would have had to move Sam, where have you been attacking it? Have you been trying to hit it in the face?
Yeah, I've been trying to hit it in the face.
Then I'll say you're within 30 feet.
As a bonus action, I will use my Bulwark of Force. So Sam and I now are protected by half cover for the next minute or until I'm
Nice.
incapacitated.
Awesome.
Okay.
So that adds 2 to the AC.
I think so, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly what that does. So that'll put mine at 21 and yours at whatever yours is at.
Currently,
Okay.
24.
Ayo.
Sweet.
I can do that once per long rest, so.
What's Biddy getting up to?
Biddy has packed her shit and left all of the food out for all of her cats. Tic Tac is her familiar. He is coming with her.
Okay.
And, she is going to make her way out of her apartment. She has her sickles at her sides, and she has her walking stick, which has a pretty red gem on, kind of hanging off of it, which the magical adept would know as her channel for her spells. And as she is walking out, she is going to be telling people to get away from this section of the city and getting people to flee. As she's not going to go towards the creature, but she is going to go in the other direction to try to help protect as much as an ancient old lady can the people that are fleeing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20.
That is a 14.
14. Okay. You are you make your way out of your home, and you're kind of like in the middle of this district. So because you took your time, most of the people in this area have already gone. But you start making your way towards one of the other gatehouses of the city, and you can see that a riot has broken out of people, just panicked, scared people, just trying to get out of the city. This is one of the main exterior gates, because you were already in one of the outer bangs.
Is this city large enough that you wouldn't know? It's not one of those places where everybody knows each other, or is it small enough that it's one of those places where everybody
millions
generally
of
knows
people
each other?
live in this city.
Okay, so it's not like one of those spots where it's like, fuck, everybody knows everybody. So she'll probably as an old lady carrying a walking stick would, if somebody's trying to come near, she'll kind of give them a whack and be like, this is not the time for that. You need to move on and just try to live. Just keep on going.
All right. We will get back to that later. It is Leo's turn.
I just took my turn. You did Leo first and then Betty.
I did Leo first.
Yeah.
So
Should have just
that
whacked
brings
it
us to-
again.
that brings us to my turn. At the beginning of my turn, everyone inside the creature takes 55 points of acid damage.
Bye, Saren.
Ooh. Goodbye.
By Saren, who I never met.
I'll miss your party.
You would have loved him.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Leo will miss
Oh.
your parties.
That's a first failure on the death save. Yeah.
Ooh.
Whatever. He just ends up going back to Avernus. It's fine. You're just banishing him back down.
It's true.
I mean, the parties are
Um,
probably better down there.
Yeah, but he doesn't have his
Debatable.
cult down there.
True.
I mean, group of like-minded individuals, not a cult, not at all.
What is with you and
am
like
now
creating
going
cults?
to
I don't know.
I'm sorry, communes.
Immune.
Sam,
Husband.
you are getting targeted with a bite attack.
Okay.
Uh, 36.
I've done all I can.
Yeah. 36.
So you take 32 points of piercing damage
God.
and are grappled and restrained. It is then going to make 2 claw attacks against Leo. The lower of the two is 21.
21 is my AC with the half cover.
Okay. So one of those is going to hit, the other misses. As it kind of like rears up and just swipes at its face, trying to dislodge you.
He still stands.
I'm gonna react using my protective field, so whatever the damage is, I'm gonna reduce it by 1d10 plus 2.
Okay, 37.
So
Oh, 55.
minus 11 points, so 37 minus 11, math.
26.
26, thank you.
Um,
Travis Willingham would say reverse math, not my strong suit.
I am also going to use a horn attack against Leo as it continues to smash you against buildings, clearing itself a path headed towards the interior of the city.
This horny individual is not a nice one.
No.
That is a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Uh, 22 points of bludgeoning damage. And then its tail, it is going to just continue just like sweeping the city, just causing more mayhem and destruction. Sam. As Muse is trampled beneath the feet of this crowd, we cut to someone else trying to escape the city.
A human woman named Nephis Gloridon. Dark black hair pulled back into like a single plait down her back. Very intricately embroidered clothing. A pair of glasses kind of settled on the bridge of her nose, although right now they're a little askew, as she is dashing around her seamstress shop, attempting to collect anything important in order to leave and evacuate.
Okay. I would like you to roll a d10.
4.
Okay. Every time this creature that is destroying the city takes a step, you feel the entire building that you're in shake as it is in the neighboring district.
Okay.
What is that character's name?
Nephis. Nephes.
I was gonna go with YS. Damn it.
All right. As you are gathering up the last of your cherished belongings, you dash outside your shop, and there you can hear the wailing of people that are trapped in half-destroyed buildings, people unable to get out of their homes, people who are still kind of in the same position that you are, that were late getting out of their homes and running for the nearest gatehouse.
Are my neighbors trapped?
Roll a d20.
17.
You can hear muffled shouts coming from the neighboring building.
That will stop her, and she will try to, assess the situation, try and open the door if it's blocked, move debris, whatever is able to be done to get them out.
Okay. You hear a woman's voice as you begin trying to clear some of this rubble out of like the doorway and stairwell up to the second level. You hear a woman's voice say, "Nephis, is that you?
It's me, I'm here.
Brand's trapped. I can't get him out."
Where are you?
I'm upstairs. We're in the bedroom.
She'll go up.
Okay. Roll a d20 to try and clear the stairwell.
15.
Okay. It takes you a few moments, but you are able to clear rubble out of the stairwell enough that you can climb up, and you find your neighbors, Jewel and Bran. Bran is trapped he's lying on the floor, his legs trapped by like a support beam of the roof that is partially collapsed.
Help me push this.
And we will come back to that in a moment. That brings us to Tina.
Yes.
We know what Walk is doing.
Yeah. Walk is.
Who else might still be in the city that is trying to make their escape?
It was Wednesday.
What was that? Where did it come from? That was not me. Okay.
Creepy.
Accidentally hit a button on my phone.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was Court.
Sorry, I was checking my messages.
Also in the city is Ilsa Embercloud, who is a taller than average for a human, but she's a tavern keep, aspiring owner.
Okay.
For the Last Call Tavern, which is...
That's such a good name.
I know, I love it. I really love it. And barkeep / entertainer / just general Goodwill ambassador.
Okay.
Typically has quite the good crowd coming by, starting a little bit later. So at this time of day, the tavern likely would not have been hopping. It's not really the type of place one goes for their breakfast so much as their after dinner.
Okay.
But she'd be cleaning everything up until the floor began to shake, and then the buildings, began to rumble, and then there's dust and screams.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You, as a resident of the
Mhm.
last call, you are still in your room sleeping off the previous evening's festivities when all of this happens.
yes.
By the time you are able to race downstairs, after collecting your things and your thoughts, you are met with a half dozen men who are like just ransacking and looting the tavern.
Based on it's not my fucking tavern, so, you know what? Bigger problems. Based on all the screams and the noise and the everything that's going on, can I tell if things are close or if this is just trouble that's being caused by the commotion elsewhere in the city?
Actually, roll me a d10.
D10. 8.
8. You are literally as far away from the event as you could possibly have been. You are in one of the outer districts on the opposite end of the city.
Okay.
So at this point, the crowds are beginning to form, of people trying to leave out of the main gate in this district.
Okay, so this is more a wave of people pushing through here, getting the hell away from elsewhere. Okay, well then in that case, seeing as there's rumbling, but there's no real sign of immediate danger right outside the door, she's gonna, upon seeing several fellows who seem to be helping themselves, she's gonna pick up a really large, I don't want to call it a bat so much as kind of like it's a cross between like a paddle and a bat, like just a huge hulking piece of wood,
Uh-huh.
and come down the stairs and just be like, "Oi, the fuck you think you're doing?"
Roll a d20.
19.
19. Even though there are far more of them than there are of you, they see you and this large club
Mm-hmm.
that you're carrying, and look at each other. They've already got a few bottles in their hands, and all of them just take off into the crowds.
Okay. Well, then she's gonna, if they leave a bottle on the counter, she's probably gonna grab that on her way past
Okay.
and have a breakfast drink.
And what was their name again?
Ilsa, ILSA, Ember Cloud.
Okay. And that brings us to Signa.
Yeah, Signa. Signa is hanging out in the bad zone. How much do I care about this place?
Dustin, I didn't get to go with Grin. Mine.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you didn't. You didn't
I can go
with
after.
Grim.
No, you can go.
I
In
mean,
case it impacts anything. In case you could make it cough me up.
I'm fucking restrained, but you know.
Yeah, I mean you are restrained, but it is your turn.
Can I can still attack.
Your attacks have disadvantage, but you can attack.
We'll just try that because he has no teleportation spells. Nope. Nope. And nope. turn. Continue. Oh, you know what? Bonus action, lay on hands.
On yourself.
Yeah, on myself.
Okay.
We're gonna do it for 60
You're gonna do it.
points.
You're gonna do it for yes.
60 points.
How many points do you get?
80.
As a legendary action, he is going to try and swallow you at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that does it. That is a 21.
Versus AC.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Chokes on the armor.
You are able to keep yourself just in its jaws. It is not able to swallow you.
Like stick out a leg, like nope, no.
So that was Tina's turn.
I don't know if Tina actually finished.
I didn't get to go with
Yeah.
Signa.
Signa. It is
yes.
now Signa's turn.
Yes. Okay, so I have a question about the heal spell.
Okay.
It's usually single target, has a range, but it is one of those creature you can see within range.
You are blind.
I am blind, so I can't see myself.
Nope.
Okay, then I'll just use a different one. In that case, I am going to cast myself some. I'm gonna cast myself some Mass Cure Wounds because I need to bring that back up. No, I want to.
Swear to God, this music just reminds me of the Mummy when they're fighting.
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
It does.
No. Actually, no. You know what? Fuck these people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no, fuck it. I'm gonna plane shift.
Okay.
I don't
Where
need.
do you go?
I mean, I am technically an air ganassi, so I would probably go to the home plane if there. I'm assuming there is one.
Yeah. I mean, you can go to the elemental plane of air.
Yeah, I don't know if there's. I'm assuming there's one in this world.
Yep.
I just, it's like you don't got to go home, but you can't stay here. So
I gotcha.
not the material plane. I'm pretty sure that this is literally just like first thing to come into mind being like, nope, this is a problem. We literally don't have other things.
If you touch it, can you bring it with you, or is there a size restriction on that?
There is no size restriction. You can do it, but you have to be able to make a melee spell attack against it. It needs to make a charisma save. And it's a lot easier to do when you're not inside of it.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
You could theoretically do it from inside, but it would probably not be that good.
That's fair.
Also unclear if you're inside of it when you do it, if you go with it.
Probably. So instead, Signa GTFO.
Also, you have to link hands, which is a problem.
Yeah. So you plane shift yourself
Yeah,
fucking out. Okay.
Yeah, like, nope, we're just going to be doing ourselves a big focus on not here.
Okay.
In fact, if I appear honestly, Signa probably appears like mid-air someplace because location, not even that specific.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
That brings us to Consuela.
Consuela.
So you said Consuela and a few others were able to make it out. So they're out of the building. So they're just going to try to find the closest exit. And I assume there's probably a mob and chaos happening, but they're just going to try to make their way through it.
There is. What is the group doing to try and expedite their passage? out of this gate. They arrive at a gate. There's a large crowd forming. There are, even though the creature didn't pass through this area directly, there is still a lot of destruction and fires and just the result of looting and panic. You get to this gatehouse, obvious choke point of people trying to escape all at once, and it already looks like a riot has broken out, like the gate.
Cool. Is there a I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, are the sewers large enough for them to get through instead of trying to fight their way through this bullshit at the gate?
Roll a d20.
That's a 5.
5. You do see a sewer grate, like in the outer wall, like kind of like at the outer wall that presumably there is a sewer that runs like directly under the wall or nearby. You and Consuela and a few of the other stronger individuals in the group begin to try and remove this grate, and a number of other people from the crowd see you, and instead of helping you, the fear and panic which has overwhelmed everyone causes a fight to break out here as well. Unfortunately, Consuela being kind of the leader of this group, is one of the first targets as just a mass of other frightened townsfolk descend upon your group. I'm sorry. Consuela's not going to make R.I.P. Consuela.
Okay.
Poor Princess Consuela Banana Hammock.
That brings us to Court. We know what Biddy is doing.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I need to do another death save.
Oh yeah, have Asarin make a death save.
Cool, that's a 4.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna tell you right now that on my turn, Asarin is gonna fail 2 death saving throws and will be dead.
Bye,
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Saren.
Asarin's not gonna make it out of the city either. But Court, we know what Biddy is doing. Who else might be in the city just trying to get out or possibly be doing something else?
So, Leo had just left her favorite bake shop, and she was going towards one of her other favorite spots in the city, a bookshop owned by an Owlkin wizard named Zara Roo. She has gathered up all of her most rare books and scrolls in her bag of holding,
Okay.
and
Wizard.
has taken flight from the roof of her shop, and she is probably circling the city to see what she can see, and take an assessment of the situation to see if she can help in any way.
Okay.
Probably wizards are nerds. She probably realizes what this thing is right away, and realizes her fireball won't do a whole lot of good with it. But she's circling to see if there's anybody that she can help get out of the way of its immediate vicinity, and sees these dumb shits fucking riding on its head and getting swallowed by it, and she's just like
Okay. Roll a d20.
17.
17. You started doing laps kind of in the creature's vicinity, trying to track where it's headed. And you see that it is moving towards the center of the city, and it is kind of in, like, it is moving like directly through the path of like a residential area. So it's all just houses, apartments. You fly down, just kind of scoping out that area, making sure that no one is left there. And you hear the faint, muffled cries of people in a nearby partially collapsed building. As I said, even though the creature hasn't actually gone through this area, even in neighboring districts, every time it takes a step, the entire earth shakes. And this city was not built to withstand an earthquake.
Sure. Does it sound like quite a few people, or just one or two, or?
It sounds like a few, more than one, certainly.
I think she would use as much of her magic as she could to move the rubble to free the people, but also while keeping mind of the fact that this is directly in the path that it's moving in, and there unfortunately may only be so much that she could do.
Okay. Go ahead and make another d20 roll.
12.
12. Okay. Yeah, you are able to use your magic isn't very powerful. But you are able to use your magic to clear some of the rubble around this home, and a family of halflings just scurries out, thanking you as they pass, and they begin racing down the street.
Yeah, and she just says, as quickly as you can, run, and then we'll take to the skies again.
Okay. How's Leo doing?
I mean, Leo has a thing that I would like to try, if I may.
Okay.
She has a feature called telekinetic movement. The object has to be within 30 feet of me, and have to be able to see it. I can move them to an unoccupied space. If I may move Grin.
Did you send me your character sheet?
Yes.
Where?
I put it in Facebook, but I also pasted it in the
Oh, I see it.
chat earlier because I wasn't sure where you wanted it.
I don't have access. Does that ability specify an object or a creature?
It actually says you can move an object or a creature with your mind.
Okay.
As an action, you can target one loose object that is large or smaller, or one willing creature other than yourself. If you can see the
Okay.
target and it's within 30 feet of you, you can move it up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see.
Make an intelligence check with your proficiency bonus.
Natural 20.
Mhm.
That would be a
I'm
total
not even
of...
gonna roll it. You're good.
Okay.
Where do you move, Grin?
I assume that this thing's face is higher than 30 feet off the ground, yes?
Yes.
He can fly.
He can fly?
He's got his wings out.
Okay. She just will say, Grin, flap your heart out, and we'll just move him like to the middle of the air just above the thing's snout. So she's just getting him out of his teeth.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Important distinction. Sam, when you were bitten and restrained,
Mm-hmm.
do you willingly dismount from your Pegasus?
Oh, I guess that's true because technically you
You're
can't
set-
dismount,
you're
'cause it's
saddle,
saddle.
You can't be unhorsed.
If it had been between grabbing, he would have made the snap decision that if it had been between grabbing one or both of us,
Mhm.
he would have willingly dismounted.
Okay. So your Pegasus is also still flying around, but without a rider.
Correct. Technically, he could have
Okay.
been making attacks, but what's the point?
All right. That brings us to. Oh, it's
Even though
Amelia
I didn't
again.
take any attacks, would I be able to action surge after doing that?
Yeah, you
'cause
can
that-
action surge.
That was my action, but if I want to attack as well, can I action surge and
Yeah.
then take my 3 attacks?
You can
would
action
like-
surge at any time, and you just get another action to do
Okay.
whatever you want with it.
I would like to action surge then.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my 3 attacks. Hopefully, at least one of them hits. That is that doesn't hit. 13 plus 9. Second attack is 16. That should hit 25.
25 will just hit.
28. That is 10 points of slashing damage. And then take another attack. Natural 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so that's that is 19 points of slashing damage.
Okay. All right. As this battle continues to rage on, we will cut to Sam.
Yes.
Was it Nephis?
Nephis.
You are trying to free Bran from this beam. You have the aid of Jewel to get him out. What are you doing? What sort of skills or abilities might Nephis have?
Knowing that she's pretty intelligent, so I would want her to assess the situation, take a bolt of the actually she would strip the coat she is wearing,
Mm-hmm.
which is made of this like it's like a silk fabric, but it's very durable,
Okay.
and try to hook up some sort of lever system or like some sort of system to be able to assist with getting part of the rubble or some of the rubble up and out without actually physically lifting the whole thing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20.
Nat 20.
Excellent. So you are able to rig up essentially this like pulley system using bolts of fabric. And as you lift this beam, Jewel is able to pull Bran free.
Brilliant.
You look down and Bran's leg is shattered. But between the two of you, you and Jewel, are able to get Bran out of the house. And the two of you start making your way through what's left of the city. Most of the buildings in this district are almost completely destroyed, if not entirely collapsed. And you approach one of the other gates that fortunately is not as crowded as some of the others. What's Ilsa getting up to?
Well, Ilsa is now having taken charge of her. Well, she thinks of it as her establishment. It's not in name, but you don't see the owner here, so I think she's gonna pop her head out onto the street and snag anyone who's running by.
Mm-hmm.
Who she can. And she gets a pretty imposing figure, so I feel like hopefully someone will stop, and once they do, she's gonna ask what the hell is going on.
Okay. Roll a d20.
13.
13. So you try and
Still have my giant
grab
club too.
Yeah, you try and grab somebody, and it takes you a few attempts. As people are just sprinting past you, you can see that not far from you, at one of the gatehouses, a crowd is forming. You get the only information that you're able to get from anybody, like, as they run past, are the city's under attack, the king's been murdered.
Well, I don't give a shit about the king, but city being under attack sounds bad. Also, where the fuck are the guards? Why are there, like, do I see any of the Kingsguard, any of the whatever military force this city has heading in the direction of the badness?
The majority of the guards that you can see are trying to keep order at the gates and trying to facilitate the evacuation.
Okay.
There are some guards that are headed in the other direction, but I mean, if the entire complement of Town's Guard is like 10,000 people, and there's 4 million residents,
Yeah. Evac
they
sucks.
astronomically overwhelmed. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, there's no way for that. All right, well, that sucks. This place have a underground basement, sewers?
Yeah, the tavern has a basement.
Any sewer access anywhere along this street?
Sure. there's a sewer in it that runs through the alley behind the building.
Okay. Well, then, seeing as I'm gonna guess that we probably don't dump right into the harbor, and sewer will probably lead out away from the harbor side of the city and toward the direction away from things.
Okay.
I'm gonna go look for a sewer and try to pry the grate up and find a way down into it
Okay.
with my
Road.
hooch with me.
Yeah, we'll come back to that in a
Yeah.
minute. Rhodes. Who else from a Saren sex cult is still alive?
Still alive is Imri, a female halfling that would be very focused on trying to probably like open this grate to get out, like in the hubbub, like being so small, she's
Mhm.
trying to like use that to her advantage as there's bullshit going on to see if she can figure out like how to pry this thing open in some way, shape, or form.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20.
17.
I was expecting a lot more of you guys to die, and not just Rhodes.
Right? I've taken one for the team.
You've taken
Sorry.
3 for the team so far. Yeah, so in all of the commotion, the small halfling goes a little more easily unnoticed, and you are able to pry the gate open, and you jump down into the sewers. And it is dark and foul and rat infested, and God knows what else might be lurking down here. But you look to your left, and you can see daylight, presumably where the sewer opens up into the hole that the creature came out of.
Before jumping in, like when she had it like pried open, she would have tried to get the attention of. I made 5 characters, and so I'm gonna say the other 2 are still alive. The other 2 people from the cult that are still alive, and try to like gesture them down as well.
Okay. Yeah, you jump down, followed closely by the other 2, who are then followed closely by just a stream of people. That you've opened up a possible alternate exit, and anybody who possibly can is going to take advantage. And you start running.
You're now in charge of the sex cult.
So Sarah can make his way back up from hell. We gotta trick some other adventuring party into letting him back in there.
He's just gonna sending Oriana and be like, "Listen, I need you to come
Look.
get me.
A thing happened.
I need a ride.
I need a
Not my
ride.
fault.
Can you come pick me up,
Can you come
please?
pick me up?"
Court,
Yes.
you have a little owlin apprentice mage
Yes.
that is trying to fly through the city. What's going on with that?
I don't know. She is actively.
Or if there's someone else you'd like to look in on, you can introduce someone else.
Yeah, actually, my candle maker. He is named Bastian. His nickname is Boomer, because though Leonora calls him a candle maker, his candles are actually dynamite, and they go boom. So I think what he is currently doing is filling his bag with as much of his stock as he possibly can, And he is running straight towards the danger to the town's fucked already.
Okay.
We can blow the thing up. We're gonna try to blow the thing up.
Go ahead and roll a d20.
That's an 8. That's bullshit because it was a natural 20 and bounced off the wall of my dice.
Oh,
My dice tray.
Oh, that's so annoying.
So
Eight.
you fill your bag with candles.
Yes.
And run towards the event and the center of the city.
Yes.
It takes you a while because you're running against the crowds. But you're able to cross the city, and you see as two figures that you recognize as saviors of the realm are currently fighting this enormous beast. When you heard the city was under attack, you assumed it was a neighboring kingdom laying siege. You did not realize that it was the harbinger of the end times.
Fuck.
But you race towards it, thinking that you've got just the thing to save the world. Unfortunately, you do not get very far as you are squished between its toes.
Does it at least make the dynamite blow up?
No.
Damn it.
Dynamite is not a kinetic explosive.
Poor Boomer.
Oh my god.
The battle progresses, and at this point I am just going to narrate a little bit of what happens. You are currently down 2 members of your group. The creature seems almost not even to have noticed, as it just lays waste to the city. At some point, Leo is knocked from the head of the creature and is forced to try and fight it on foot on the ground. Grin, back atop your Pegasus, is trying to harass the creature from the air to give Leo all of the advantage he possibly can. Leo, you begin striking out with all of your might at this thing. Your sword strikes just bouncing off near harmlessly. And you are caught in the jaws of this creature. And Grin, just as you saw your other 2 companions, Leo disappears down its gullet.
Oh.
With your last ounce of strength, you fly almost into a righteous rage as you do everything in your power to take vengeance on this creature for all of the death and destruction that it has caused. And as you fly towards it, sword held high, you are caught by a tail whip. And in a truly Superman-esque way, you and your Pegasus are knocked into and then through a nearby tower wall as the tower then collapses. As Nephis and Emery and Walk, Ilsa,
Mhm.
the old lady Biddy, and the Owlin mage
What about
fight.
awkward Aarakocra?
I said Walk.
Okay. Did he get to chuck his little rock?
He does.
Okay.
He does drop the rock. It does absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Love him.
Feeling good about himself though.
But the townsfolk, though the majority of people who once lived in Shimmer Gulf perish in the attack or their attempts at escape, those few do make it out of the city before it is completely destroyed. And you watch from a distance as you continue to flee, the creature, having completed its task, takes up residence in the crater that is now that city. A few days go by, and you awake one morning to small, like, handheld bells being run in a makeshift camp that you're all in. And there are shouts of people saying that the creature is gone. The creature's left. And over the next few days, people start returning to what's left of the city that at this point has been almost completely flattened. And you can see leading out of the city into the hills enormous tracks that the creature remains out there somewhere. But
No.
it is no longer here.
Oh no.
Finn,
Can we put a GPS on it?
for now.
The only one
Finn,
of us that got
question
away
mark?
was Sigma.
Yep.
That was really fun.
Yay, that was
That
fun.
was good.
That was really fun.
I know we went a little late. But
That's okay.
we were trying to do a tiny bit of, variable NPC roleplay during a Tarask fight.
Mm-hmm.
So
That was really fun. Like I really enjoyed like the different NPC aspect of it and just like the little snippets of these characters you had us pick out.
Mhm.
It's fun.
So yeah. So perhaps we might return to some of these people. But for the time being, I believe that we are going to be taking a week off next week. So no Wednesday night dice.
Right.
But we will be back the following week. And then I think the week after that, we're going to take the week off as well. Possibly. We'll see. But until
That will
then,
work.
yeah, work
Damn
sucks.
Adults. Ugh.
Blink 182 said it best.
Yep.
Work sucks. I know.
Well, thank you guys for playing.
Thanks
To
for
anybody
running.
who tuned
Yeah.
in, thank you for watching. And we will see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Woo.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Good night.
Night, internet.